The Homework Project began as an educational outreach by Epiphany United Church of Christ in Chicago to school-age children in rural Romania. Epiphany has a long history of reaching out to people in need, our local community, and around the world. To learn what inspired this connection to children in a distant country, we welcome 3 members of Epiphany Church. Keith Schwartz, who has been to Romania 4 times, is part of the Homework Project. Lori Gingrich, who has traveled there 3 times, and Lori's daughter Amelia, a sophomore at Jones College Prep, who has been to Romania once. If you could just talk to us a little bit about what the Homework Project is and how you got involved.
The Homework Project is an educational outreach of our church in rural villages of Romania. We're involved in 3 villages, Cefa, Baracu, and Atias, where we provide after-school tutoring to disadvantaged Roma and Romanian children in those villages. There's about 50 kids involved in the program. The program started in 2005. We've been operating every year since then. And it was started when a member of our church visited there on another purpose. He was asked to go by the American Dairy Association just to observe an educational and charitable project that they had, and really became very interested in the need of the people there, the amount of poverty, and the fact that a lot of the Gypsy or Roman population was kind of living on the outside of society and was looking for ways that we could help through education and maybe making them a little bit more integrated into the Romanian society as a whole.
And through that one person, Joe Burt, he was able to get others to go. About 10 people from Epiphany have visited, including my 2 kids.
And yourself, Amelia, what have some of your experiences been like and the people that you met?
I went there a few years ago. I taught English to some of the younger kids. We played games, sang songs in English. They were very nice.
In Romania, what are the needs of the population that you serve, and what types of conditions are they under?
So we're operating in these rural villages, and it's pretty eye-opening. Although it's Europe, in these villages there's not running water. Some people have electricity, but many folks don't. The homes often the walls are made out of mud, and there may be holes in them, and they live in a climate similar to Chicago. They're very cold winters. So one of the first things that were done there was actually to build showers near the church that these people go to, so they could come and have just running warm water to bathe. But it's interesting, they'll often walk to a well a couple miles away and fill up giant, like 2-liter bottles of like Coke with their water, drinking water, to bring it back. And people we've talked to there forecast it'll still be probably another 20 years before there'll be running water in all these villages.
Amelia gave them lessons on parts of the body, the ABCs, different people in your family. And we also took paper and pencils, colored pencils and pens. And many of the younger children, you could tell, were quite awkward with a pen. It's not like here where kids, are writing and reading from a very young age.
How successful has the Homework Project been, Keith?
Well, we've been grateful that it's expanded over the years. We started in one village called Cefa, and we had about 20 students in the program. It has been very successful in keeping the kids in school, and it's been operating long enough now that some of the kids in these villages have actually gone on to high school, which doesn't sound like a lot in America, but in a rural village in Romania, where you need to travel 45 minutes by train to even get to high school, and a lot of the parents are not literate, that's, I think, a big accomplishment. And we're also grateful that we've been able to expand the program into other villages and reach more people's lives.
What's one of the most memorable stories you can recall that you could share, Lori, during your travels to Romania?
Well, the kids we work with range in age from lower elementary to junior high. So the oldest are 14, 15. And when I talk to some of the older kids, I remember one boy said he was looking forward to leaving school to work with horses. It's still that rural where they work with draft animals. So, and there's also a tradition among the Roma of certain tribes or branches of the Roma who do work with horses. So, in a way, it's like here, you're glad they have a job and they're ambitious, but in order to really be part of modern society, you do have to stay in school. And really our ambition for the program is that maybe one day one of the children there will go on to college.
How has the Illinois conference of the UCC helped, Keith?
Well, they've been a big help. In fact, they've been instrumental in our being able to expand the program to the 3rd village of Atias. So in 2011, our church was awarded the Illinois Conference Grant Vision Fund, which was a $10,000 grant. And the bulk of the proceeds there have been to operate the center in Ateas. It takes about $5,000 a year to run the program in a village, and that covers the salary of the teachers, and we also provide some snacks for the students while the school is in session.
So providing a safe place where they can get one-on-one help, I think is extremely important for helping them to keep up in school. Because the Roma children do tend to be ignored by the teachers or even tracked in special education programs where they really shouldn't be. So keeping their grades up and giving them a reason to keep going, I think, is very important.
If you could just talk to us a little more about the church and your pastor and all the individuals that are involved and how you generate interest amongst everyone to try to get more involved to help out the youth in Romania.
The original way that this all started was just a little fundraiser we had in our basement, and Joe Bird, who originally went, had a number of pictures of his experiences there, and this is before the program even started operating. I had traveled to Eastern Europe before, so some of the pictures were familiar to me, and it led me an interest in wanting to go. And I think, by and large, people who make the trip and go and observe the conditions and the impact that we're having, it's a life-changing experience. Just seeing these children that don't have the things that sometimes we take for granted in America, and seeing really how much little material gifts from America can go so far there has a very profound experience.
Well, we've had a number of ways that people could participate. Certainly, the members of Epiphany have been very generous with fundraising and providing the monetary support, which goes directly to the children. And also, we've had coat drives. They have the same climate as we do here, so people can really understand that children need warm coats, scarves, hats. And really, the people that have had the opportunity to go over there, I think it's important for them to talk to native English speakers, even in the short times we've been there. It gives them the opportunity. That's one thing we can bring to them educationally. You know, we go there, we can't help them with their math or their geography or their Romanian. That's why we work with the tutors there to do that. But we have had a lot of fun, and I think made an impact in helping them with their English, which is a skill that you need in this world.
And speaking about the impact that you've made on these children, what's their reaction like? How do they feel?
Well, you know, there's one little thing I remember, and Amelia, remember when we took our cameras to take pictures of them? We had a regular camera of ours because we wanted to document what we did, take pictures of the kids back to the congregation. We also had one of those cameras, instant cameras, where the picture comes right out of it. They're not called Polaroids anymore. But for every kid, we gave them a picture of themselves, and I think many of these kids did not have a picture of themselves, or very few. And so even that little gift that we were able to send home to them, I think was so important. If you could have seen the smiles on their faces when Amelia handed them the picture of themselves.
And what kind of difference has this made as far as your faith and your outlook on life in this entire situation?
Well, it definitely expanded my views. I wasn't sure what to expect, but when I went there, I learned a lot about the Romanian culture, and I learned the children there are a lot like the children here.
Well, they sing some of the same songs. What was the song you sang with them that they also knew in Romania?
We taught them the Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes song in English and Romanian. They sang it to us.
Oh, nice. If folks want to learn more about the Homework Project, where can they go to get more information and to contribute as well?
Yeah, the best place to get more information is the website, thehomeworkproject.org. And people can give directly through Epiphany. If they go to the epiphanyucc.org website, there's a link and a place to give directly to the Romanian Fund.
We're also very excited about an upcoming youth trip in the summer of 2015. We hope that kids like Amelia, in junior high to high school age, will be able to go and work directly with the kids in a summer camp situation.
Keith, Lori, Amelia, thank you so much for taking the time to share a little more information about the Homework Project. I'm Chris Antonio for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.